Hello, Dynasty women. The most powerful person in the room is never the loudest. She's the one you didn't notice, until everything started moving in her direction. Most people are obsessed with the spotlight, racing to be seen, heard, followed, liked. But then there's her, the Sigma female. She's not fighting for the mic. She doesn't need the center stage. Yet somehow, without making noise, she dominates. Here's a wild fact. Studies show that people who speak less in group settings are often perceived as more intelligent and competent, especially when they finally speak with clarity and timing. Translation: the Sigma female's silence isn't shyness, it's strategy. While others are posting power quotes on Instagram and manifesting with moon crystals, she's quietly building empires, mastering her emotional software, and bending social dynamics like origami. And no, this isn't your usual "she's mysterious and independent" cliché fest. Forget that. We're about to dissect how Sigma females tap into something most people will never access: the ability to move through life with undetected precision and undeniable force. Let's lift the veil, and good luck on seeing what you're about to learn. Number 1. They observe more than they speak, then strike with precision. They don't talk much, not because they're shy, but because they're watching everything. Every move, every word, every silence in between the words. While most people rush to fill space with noise, Sigma females sit back and absorb. They study how people react, how they contradict themselves, how they scramble to be liked or understood. And in that silence, they gather an edge that most miss entirely. The power of a Sigma female isn't just in what she knows, it's in what she notices. While someone else is talking over everyone to prove a point, she's already 10 steps ahead, having picked up on the insecurity behind their tone, the micro-expressions they didn't control, and the real reason they're even talking in the first place. By the time she speaks, she's not guessing, she's calculated. And when she finally does speak, it's never random. It cuts straight through. There's no filler, no fluff, just precision. It's like dropping a single match in a room full of gasoline. Small action, massive reaction. People stop. They listen, because even those who don't know her well can feel it. She doesn't waste words. If she's speaking now, it means something. It's not about dominating the room. It's about owning it quietly. There's a reason people remember what she said days later, while forgetting the loud ones within minutes. Her words aren't frequent, but they land with weight. They echo. Not because she's trying to impress, but because she's been holding truth like a weapon and chooses the perfect moment to draw it. Sigma females use their voice like a scalpel, not a hammer, and that's what makes it powerful. They don't need to speak often, because when they do, it shifts the entire energy of the room. It's not magic, it's mastery, and most never even see it coming. Number 2, they're addicted to self-reinvention. They're not loyal to old versions of themselves. The Sigma female doesn't cling to who she used to be just because people got comfortable with her that way. If a mindset, identity, or lifestyle no longer fits her vision, she discards it fast. No announcements, no drama. She simply evolves, and anyone who can't keep up gets left behind. This isn't some cute, trendy glow-up moment. It's deep, often uncomfortable, and completely raw. Reinvention, for her, is a survival instinct, necessary, not optional. While others are busy trying to stay consistent to be relatable, she's busy outgrowing the very version of herself that earned her respect last year. Respect means nothing to her if she's stagnant. Growth means everything, even if it costs her approval, relationships, or familiarity. She's not afraid to look inconsistent to the outside world because her loyalty is to her inner evolution, not outside perception. One year she's quiet and invisible. The next, she's running her own thing, saying no to what she used to tolerate and making moves no one saw coming. That's not unpredictability. It's intentional shedding. Old beliefs, old fears, outdated dreams, they get burned down without hesitation. And she doesn't need applause for it. In fact, she prefers no one notice until she's fully stepped into the next version of herself. While others are clinging to titles and past achievements, she's already reinventing in silence, preparing to reappear as someone sharper, wiser, and more untouchable than before. The Sigma female sees identity as a tool, not a cage. She will wear it for as long as it helps her move through the world with power and clarity. But the second it starts limiting her, she lets it go without flinching. Reinvention isn't a phase for her, it's a rhythm, and she's mastered it. Number 3. They are masters of strategic withdrawal. Sigma females don't cling, they don't beg, and they definitely don't stay where the energy feels off no matter how good it looks on the outside. Their instincts are razor sharp, and when something feels wrong, even if there's no obvious reason yet, they start pulling back. Quietly, strategically, no warning shots, no final speeches, just distance. This isn't avoidance, it's power. Most people exhaust themselves trying to fix what's clearly broken, trying to explain themselves to people committed to misunderstanding them, or trying to prove their worth in places that drain them. Sigma females? They don't play that game. The moment they feel the shift, when the vibe feels performative, when loyalty starts feeling one-sided, or when growth starts shrinking, they choose themselves and walk. Not out of spite, but self-preservation. They understand the value of their energy, and they refuse to let it be wasted. A Sigma female doesn't wait for disrespect to be loud. She leaves at the first sign of subtle erosion. She doesn't need closure. She is the closure. And the silence she leaves behind is often louder than any argument could ever be. This ability to withdraw isn't just emotional intelligence. It's tactical. She knows how to exit without burning bridges, yet still make it clear she's not coming back. It's the art of disappearing with dignity, and it leaves people stunned. Not because she left, but because she did it with such precision, they didn't even realize they were being cut off until after the fact. And once she's gone, she stays gone. No looping back for comfort, no checking to see if they've changed. Because she knows that growth doesn't happen by returning to the same places and people that once made her shrink. Her withdrawal isn't weakness. It's how she makes room for something greater, and she never apologizes for it. Number 4. They refuse to be defined by desire, even their own. Sigma females don't let desire run the show, not even their own. Where most people blindly chase what they want, money, attention, validation, even love, she steps back and questions it first. Why do I want this? Is this mine, or did the world convince me I should want it? If the desire doesn't align with her internal code, her personal values, purpose, and deeper logic, it gets tossed, no matter how tempting it is. That's what makes her so immune to manipulation. You can't seduce someone who isn't ruled by impulse. You can't bait her with shiny distractions, ego-stroking, or promises of status. She's not chasing highs, she's following alignment. And if what she wants today doesn't match who she's becoming tomorrow, she'll walk away from it without flinching. Even her own ambition doesn't get a free pass. Just because something looks powerful doesn't mean it is. Just because she can win at something doesn't mean it's worth her time. She questions everything, including herself. And that's why she moves differently. While others burn out chasing every dream they think will complete them, she conserves her energy for what truly fits her architecture. This mindset creates a kind of psychological immunity. She's not led by hunger, she's led by clarity, which makes her almost impossible to control, seduce, or derail. You can tempt her with what most people would die for, and she'll walk away if it doesn't pass her inner screening. It's not that she doesn't feel desire, she just refuses to worship it. In a world that's constantly screaming, "Follow your passion," she calmly responds with, "Not until I've dissected it first." That's not cold, that's elite-level discipline. And it's part of what makes her power so unnerving, because it comes from a place even she doesn't let get corrupted. Number 5. They reject false empowerment narratives. Sigma females aren't interested in surface-level empowerment. They see right through the glittery quotes, the "You Go Girl" slogans, and the endless cycle of performative confidence plastered all over social media. To them, that's noise. Empty calories dressed up as strength. They don't need to announce their power. They live it, quietly, consistently, and with zero need for outside validation. The polished boss babe image doesn't move them. Wearing the title without the substance feels like wearing armor made of glass. It might shine, but it breaks under pressure. Sigma females don't chase the image of being powerful. They'd rather have real power, even if no one claps for it, even if no one sees it. Their idea of empowerment is grounded, raw, and often uncomfortable. It's doing the hard work when no one's watching. It's walking away from what everyone else is chasing. It's knowing who they are without having to brand it with hashtags and merch. They don't need group affirmations or daily mantras to feel strong. They just need results, tangible, lived outcomes, peace that isn't rented through self-help trends, growth that doesn't need to be posted. While others are curating aesthetics of empowerment, perfect angles, perfect captions, the Sigma female is in the background building things no one sees coming. Her power is earned, not claimed, and that's why it's unshakable. She doesn't reject empowerment. She rejects false empowerment, the kind that tells you to feel strong without doing the inner work, the kind that teaches you how to look confident, not be confident. She knows better. She knows that true power isn't loud, isn't pretty, and isn't always comfortable, but it's real, and that's the only kind she's interested in. So while the world chants slogans, she keeps her head down and builds. And when she speaks, it's not to join the chorus. It's to rewrite the whole damn script. Number 6. They treat emotional discipline as a sacred art. Sigma females don't suppress emotions. They shape them. To them, emotional discipline isn't about acting cold or distant. It's about mastering the full range of their feelings without letting those feelings run their lives. While most people are reacting on impulse, snapping when triggered, breaking down under pressure, or oversharing to feel seen, she's operating with precision. Every emotion is observed, processed, and chosen before it's expressed. She doesn't perform stoicism. She practices emotional awareness like it's a martial art. When something shakes her, she doesn't erupt. She watches it internally first, understands its roots, and then decides, is this the time to show it, or do I hold it and let it fuel me instead? That kind of control isn't robotic. It's refined. It's what allows her to walk away from chaos while others get pulled in. It's what helps her stay unshaken when someone's trying to provoke her. Not because she doesn't feel anything, but because she knows how to wait, how to redirect that energy, and how to use it when it actually counts. Sigma females also understand the timing of emotion. Sometimes you need to feel things fully, in silence, in private, with brutal honesty. And other times you need to put the feeling in your pocket and handle the moment like a surgeon. She knows the difference. That ability gives her an edge in relationships, in high-stakes conversations, in moments where others would fold or fumble. She doesn't. It's not about emotional denial, it's emotional strategy. And very few people have the patience, self-awareness, or inner stability to practice that consistently. But the Sigma female does, because she knows that whoever controls their emotions under pressure controls the entire room. That's why she doesn't explode, overshare, or beg to be understood. Her calm isn't emptiness, it's power, and it's earned through the sacred art of emotional discipline. Number 7. They use intellectual isolation to multiply insight. Sigma females don't isolate themselves to escape the world, they isolate to decode it. While most people fear being alone, fearing the silence and discomfort that comes with it, the Sigma female walks straight into it like it's her personal workshop. This isn't just downtime, it's a high-performance zone where her sharpest thinking happens. She treats solitude like a sacred ritual, not just to recharge but to refine. In this space, there's no noise from other people's opinions, no pressure to conform, and no distraction from who she really is. That's where her mind becomes its most dangerous asset. She takes raw, chaotic thoughts and turns them into strategy. Ideas that would get diluted in a crowd are sharpened in her silence. She doesn't need external validation to think something is valuable. If it resonates deeply with her inner compass, that's enough. She builds it, polishes it, and when she finally shares it, it cuts through the noise. That's the thing. When she disappears, she's not wasting time. She's making something, rebuilding her mindset, questioning the things she once believed. Studying human behavior, systems, power, emotion, whatever she's focused on in that season, she dives into it with obsession. And when she comes back, she's upgraded, smarter, sharper, clearer. People won't know what happened, only that something about her shifted. This level of isolation isn't loneliness, it's discipline. It's her way of removing distractions so she can think independently. Because she doesn't trust groupthink. She doesn't blindly accept popular narratives. She wants truth. She wants clarity. And you can't find that in a room full of echo chambers. So while others seek community to find themselves, she steps away to remember who she is, without the world's fingerprints all over her mind. That's how she multiplies insight. That's how she stays ahead. And that's why her return always carries something the rest didn't see coming. Number 8. They hack systems quietly instead of protesting loudly. Sigma females don't waste time yelling at broken systems. They study them, quietly. While everyone else is busy protesting loudly, demanding change or fighting for visibility, she's already inside the system, observing how it breathes, where it bleeds, and exactly where to press to make it bend without ever being seen. She doesn't need attention to feel powerful. She needs access. And once she has it, she uses it with surgical precision. Whether it's a corporate structure, a social hierarchy, or a cultural game that seems rigged, she doesn't try to break it down by force. She figures out how it works, then slips into the cracks. No announcement, no disruption, just quiet infiltration. The genius of the Sigma female lies in her ability to blend in just long enough to get what she needs, and then rewire things from the inside. She knows most systems feed on resistance. The louder you fight, the more they tighten. So she doesn't fight. She adapts, plays along just enough to avoid suspicion, then subtly reroutes the current. When change happens, no one traces it back to her. But make no mistake, she was the ghost in the machine. She does this without arrogance. It's not about control or chaos. It's about efficiency. She'd rather manipulate quietly than battle publicly, not because she's afraid, but because she's strategic. She knows that real power is the kind that doesn't announce itself. That's why people rarely see her coming. While others are still demanding permission to enter, she's already inside the locked room, flipping switches. By the time the system reacts, she's already gone, having taken what she needed, improved what she wanted, or shifted the entire balance without anyone realizing who pulled the strings. It's not rebellion, it's reprogramming, and she's mastered it. Number 9. They build private empires while pretending to be bystanders. Sigma females don't need the spotlight to build their empires. In fact, they prefer it that way. While everyone else is busy broadcasting their moves, seeking validation, or trying to get noticed, she stays in the shadows, gathering strength quietly. She lets people underestimate her, because the more they underestimate her, the less they pay attention to what she's actually doing. Behind the scenes, she's laying down the foundations of something far greater than anyone realizes. She's building networks of people who don't know they're being groomed for something bigger, securing assets that don't scream wealth at first glance, and forging influence in ways that don't involve public displays of power. She doesn't care about the immediate applause or recognition. She's creating the future, on her own terms, without anyone noticing the strategy at play. It's the perfect form of power, subtle, patient, and steady. While others are publicly hustling for followers and likes, she's out there making moves that matter. She's gathering resources, forming alliances, and placing herself in positions of influence, all while keeping her profile low and her intentions hidden. She operates like a chess player, not a gladiator. Every move is calculated, every decision made with a clear vision of what's to come. And when she finally steps out into the light, it's not for a big reveal. It's to claim what's already hers. By the time people notice her rise, she's already 10 steps ahead, with her empire well in place and her power already solidified. It's not an accident. It's strategy. They thought she was just a bystander, when in reality she was quietly orchestrating her own version of success. She doesn't need to flaunt her achievements. She doesn't need approval. She just quietly wins. And by the time others realize what she's built, it's already too late to catch up. Number 10. They exploit being misunderstood as camouflage. Sigma females don't mind being misunderstood. In fact, they use it. While the world rewards loud personalities and constantly seeks attention, she leans into the shadows, letting her quiet or aloof demeanor create the perfect camouflage. When people misinterpret her calm for coldness or her detachment for disinterest, they underestimate her. And that's exactly how she likes it. In a world that equates loudness with strength, being misunderstood gives her the perfect cover. No one expects her to be a threat when they don't even understand her fully. While others are broadcasting their every move for validation, she's silently observing, learning, and waiting. The more people misjudge her, the more space she has to operate unseen. It's a cloak of invisibility. She doesn't need to make noise or assert her presence to have influence. Instead, she allows others to project their assumptions onto her. In the meantime, she's planning, calculating, and making decisions that will impact everything, all while staying under the radar. When you don't draw attention to yourself, no one can disrupt your plans, no one can challenge your rise. Being misunderstood becomes a strategic tool. It gives her the time and space to develop ideas, build relationships, and grow power without the constant interference of judgment or expectations. People see her as passive or uninvolved, and that's their mistake. She's often the quiet architect behind movements, the one whose silence hides the storm brewing inside. While the world's attention is on the loud, the obvious, and the flashy, she remains in the background, gathering strength. When the time comes, her power isn't just visible, it's unstoppable, all because she knew how to use invisibility as a weapon. Misunderstood? Absolutely. And that's her greatest advantage. Number 11. They transcend identity labels, and even use them as tools. Sigma females don't cling to identity labels. They use them as tools, and the moment they've outgrown a label, they let it go. The concept of being a Sigma is simply a vehicle, a means to an end, not a box to be confined in. It's a framework that helps them understand how they operate in a world full of expectations and norms. But they never let it define them. They recognize the power in having a label that others can latch onto, because it grants them a certain understanding of their behavior, but they don't worship it or limit themselves by it. They navigate systems, whether social, professional, or personal, by understanding how labels work. In a world that often forces people to fit into pre-made categories, the Sigma female is the one who moves fluidly between them. She might play the role of the lone wolf when the situation calls for independence, or embrace the strategist when it suits her goals. She doesn't become attached to the label. It's just another tool in her expansive toolbox. When the world asks her to fit into a predefined category, she might play along just long enough to benefit from the system's limitations or biases, but she knows she can shed that identity at will. She understands the value in using labels to blend in, manipulate perceptions, or avoid scrutiny, but they're never permanent. Labels are not prisons for her, they're stepping stones, placeholders, or even shields. The Sigma female is constantly evolving, transcending any single identity. When she's mastered one persona, she's already shedding it to become something more. Her self-awareness and adaptability make her elusive to anyone trying to pin her down with one simple description. She uses personality labels like a chess player moves pieces, strategically, with purpose, and only as long as they serve her overall game. As soon as they become limiting or constricting, she moves on, leaving them behind without a second thought. So while the world scrambles to define her, she keeps changing the game, using each label as a stepping stone towards something greater. In a world that thrives on predictability and convention, the Sigma female stands as a force of quiet brilliance and unyielding autonomy. She isn't bound by the rules that others follow, nor does she need the approval that many crave. Instead, she crafts her own path, one that is defined by strategy, self-mastery, and an unwavering commitment to personal evolution. Her power isn't in the noise she makes, but in the silence she commands, in the moves she makes behind the scenes, and in the mastery she wields over herself and her surroundings. She doesn't need a title to define her, nor does she need recognition to validate her worth. Her strength comes from within, unseen, but undeniably present. Her choices are deliberate, her actions thoughtful, and her silence often the loudest statement she could ever make. She is a master of navigating systems, exploiting their weaknesses and rewriting the rules when necessary, all while remaining a mystery to most. In every moment, she is reinventing herself, stepping into new identities only to discard them once they've served their purpose, constantly evolving beyond what others can comprehend. The Sigma female doesn't fight the world. She bends it to her will without ever breaking a sweat. She uses the limitations of society, expectations, and labels as her own tools, quietly engineering her success with an elegance that others mistake for passivity. In the end, it's her ability to control her own narrative, to move with purpose and precision, that leaves everyone else scrambling to catch up. She is a paradox, a mystery wrapped in an enigma. She is a force that demands respect not through noise or spectacle, but through results, strategy, and the quiet, unshakable power that she wields without apology. And while the world continues to chase validation, recognition, and fleeting desires, she will keep forging ahead, transcending expectations, and building her legacy one unseen step at a time. The Sigma female is not just an exception. She is the blueprint for a power that cannot be replicated. She is the future, quiet, unstoppable, and infinitely powerful. If you found yourself captivated by the power and mystery of the Sigma female, don't let the journey end here. Subscribe to the channel to continue exploring more of these profound insights and powerful concepts that go beyond the ordinary. Like this video if you can't get enough of breaking down the rules and reshaping perspectives. Leave a comment with your thoughts, whether you felt a personal connection to the Sigma mindset or just want to dive deeper into the conversation. And don't forget to share with those who need a little more depth in their daily feed. There's a lot more coming, so stay tuned, stay curious, and most importantly, stay ahead. We're just getting started.